Welcome to Glory Central Ministries, where Jesus Christ is Lord and Pastor Willie Walker is the under-shepherd. Experience life in 3 seasons, where we are committed to challenge you with the Word of God, to change your old mindset to the new, and to charge you to be all that God has designed you to be.
I put it on God. Because that's the one I got to put it on. Because see, you know what? I found myself trying to make up stuff to make it sound good. One thing I know about a woman is she take your word. Woo! I say take it and bring it back. Remind you about it 2 or 3 more times. You'll hear what I'm saying, that y'all know I'm telling the truth. But it's good because they got something in them that is good. Because watch this, that means they can take a word from God and remind me.
Right.
Keep me going.
Right.
Didn't God say that He's going to do it for you? I said, He sure did. You talk about a man on fire, boy.
Right.
I don't get up and run all over the place. I don't care if I got a nook in my pocket. If my wife said God is going to remind me that God said He's going to do it. I got $20 million. Because the spoken word that came out of her mouth that believe what God said, you ain't hear me. All I got to do is line back up with it. Because you found out in, watch this, when you're in a relationship, that every now and then, I found this out, that one going to be up and one going to be down.
There you go.
It's never going to be the place that both going to be up. I'm just telling you the truth. I mean, but that's the way God made you. He made you to a point. That's why it's so important that 2 individuals are walking in the same direction. That's why it's so important that you equally yoked. You ain't hearing what I'm saying to you. You don't need a Muslim in your house and you're a Christian. Something's going to be kind of messed up there. Because watch this, you speaking one thing, they speaking another. Watch this. Watch this. So when you are down and out, because we go through as men. We see it, we speak it, we know it, we heard God, we move on it. But sometimes we get halfway out there, we get scared. Y'all, you know, stepped out on faith and out there, and your feet, watch this, your legs start shaking. Oh my God, I'm out here. And you can't turn around because you done came too far out. You ain't never did that before. Watch this. All right, here we go. Watch this. All right. So here we are with the king, watch this, was in a place, watch this. The prophet told him, said, listen, by the time, watch this, tomorrow this time, oh, you gonna have plenty to eat. Watch this. And we know when his officer said what thing? Oh, ain't nowhere in the world. Oh, you hear me? Nowhere in the world it's going to happen by tomorrow. Even if God let it rain all night long. Heaven pour out. It ain't going to happen by tomorrow. And nowhere in the world, watch this, the grain's going to grow up out of the ground that fast. He was saying, it's impossible for God to do what He said He's going to do. But you know, as I noticed one thing, God always speaks in a time when you're going through. Tell you about an impossible thing that He's going to do. Watch this. That's when you know it's God, ain't you? When He tells you to do something, watch this, above you, that's when you know it's God. Because it can't be you, because in the natural, we look at everything down the line. We look at all the lines. I mean, you hear me? Well, you know, this going to cost this much. This going to cost this much. You know, we add everything up. Come on, that's natural. But if you move beyond the natural, you know you must be in the faith area. And if you're in the faith area, it has to be God. Because it takes God to get you there, and it takes God to keep you there. Oh, when you hear what I'm saying to you. Because all of us get comfortable. I mean, y'all get comfortable. I get comfortable a lot when God, you watch this. It took a lot of faith to move where I am right here. Oh, yeah. Then I get comfortable. Then He calls you to move. That's scary. You ever notice when you get comfortable, God calls you to move up? Every time. You can be in a certain position on a job for a long period of time, and somebody keep coming to you often, you know, getting you to do certain things, watch this, in this particular area. Above your job. You're like, well, that's above, you know, Sister Jones, she should be doing that. And Sister Hat, she should, every time I turn around, she bring it to me. And God is telling you, and you look at the individual and complaining about how much they're giving you, and God's telling you that I'm calling you up. And you're missing it because, watch this, you're so focused on flesh that you're missing in the spirit what God is doing. So we got got to get to a point and stop fighting God and say, Lord, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do, if you want to take me up, take me up. Because watch this, we pray for money. Oh, come on. He knows your financial, watch this, your means as well as, watch this, anybody else or as well as you. Watch this. But if you want him to do it for you, you got to let him do it. If he's, you got to pay attention to that. There's a lot in that. Wow, watch this. So the prophet prophesied to the king, told him, say, by tomorrow, watch this, that you will have plenty of flour, you will have plenty to eat. And of course, we know his officer said the same thing. He said these words, no way in the world they're going to happen. No, that's not going to happen. It's impossible for that to take place. Okay, watch this. I want to skip on down because I know the story, and I love about these lepers. These men who had an illness. They had, watch this, they had skin disease. It was real bad. So watch this. And it messed me up because I never saw this before. Slow down. I never saw this before. That the lepers was on the outside of the gate. So they was not inside the city. But at the same time, watch this, they on the outside where the enemy is, but they were not in the enemy's camp. They in between. That's a lot right there. You never, oh, that's a lot right there. You never felt in between? Yep, come on. You never felt in between? You know, over here is God, and over here is the enemy, and you feel like you're in between? Huh? Watch this now. They got to a point, the four lepers, watch this, got to a point, and they got to a point, they said, you know what? They start talking to each other. You know what? Since we're in the same situation. You hear me? Because nobody else would talk to them, you see. These are the type of people who couldn't go inside the city because watch this, what was wrong with their skin. Lepers, y'all don't want to talk about it. Nobody want to touch them because they were scared. But these boys got together and started talking about situations. If we go into the city, we surely will starve. I can imagine them sitting around talking about that. But if we stay out here, we might, watch it, same thing, we may die too. If we go in the enemy's camp, it may happen the same thing. But they got to a point and said, you know what? Well, I might well take a chance. Take a chance. See, watch this. God loves when you take chances. That's a faith person. See, it doesn't say this person has faith. It doesn't say these lepers had faith. But God will use what we call, watch this, a thing that's not important and use it. These boys, nobody would touch them. But they decided, watch this, to go say, well, you know, we might well go down to Syria. We want to go, hey, let's just check them out. Let's go down to the camp. Watch this. On their way down to the camp, we know the story. The story says these words. It says, on the way down to the camp, about twilight, about dusk, they decided to go. The Syrians, watch this, heard a noise. See, this is how God used you. The Syrians heard a noise, a great noise like chariots coming. They said, oh my God, Israel must have got with Egypt, must have got with the other nations and hired them to come along with them and to come down here and attack us. So they ran off. Make a long story short. God took 4 individuals who was, watch this, who was ill, unimportant. Oh, nobody knew that name. Nobody knew where they came from. You hear what I'm saying? Took 4 individuals, watch this, who nobody knew them or cared anything about them, or didn't want to do anything with them. They didn't have no change. Oh, y'all hear what I'm saying to you? They didn't have no money. They definitely didn't have no honey. Because they, you know what, they didn't want to be with nobody looking like that. Y'all hear what I'm saying to you? But they got together and they went down, watch this, even though all this was going on, they went down to the camp and found out the camp was, watch this, was abandoned. See, God will use you sometimes. Watch this. To go to an area, watch this, when they got there and saw the camp was abandoned, watch this, let me get into that, saw it was abandoned, they went in and what happened? They went to one tent first and took the plunder. They went in and took everything. The silver and the gold. You know what? The boy sat there and got the neat though. Yeah. Ooh, that sound like a brother. Listen, you got down there.